Hello all. In 12th standard we are going to begin with physics paper 1. First chapter, rotational dynamics. In this chapter we are going to focus on circular motion and rotational motion of the body. In 11th standard, motion in a plane, in that chapter we have already studied about motion of a particle along a straight line, which is called as linear motion. As well as in the same chapter we have studied motion of a particle along circumference of circle, which is called as circular motion. Now in this chapter we are going to concentrate on circular motion. Now what is exactly mean by a circular motion? Which factor we should consider when we are talking about circular motion, and what are its applications? That part we are going to study in this rotational dynamics. So we are going to begin with the very first type of motion, that is what? The circular motion. Now in circular motion, easily we can define it as motion of a particle along the circumference of circle. This is called as circular motion. Here you can see this is particle, say particle P, and this particle P is moving along the circumference of circle. So this is called as circular motion, or we can say that the particle P is performing circular motion. Now in this case, we can clearly see that as the particle speed, linear speed, it means the motion of a particle along a straight line. Then at any instant, you can see the linear speed is going to be tangent to its circular path. Now to understand this circular motion in more detail, here you can see we are considering a circular path of a particle. Consider say particle P, which is moving along the circumference of circle with the center of the circle at the origin of XY coordinate system. Now here we have considered motion of a particle in anti-clockwise sense. Now if we consider speed, linear speed of this particle at any time instant, here, here, here or here, we can see that the linear speed of a particle is tangent at any time instant. It means it is tangent to its circular path. So from this we can discuss the characteristics of circular motion. Here you can see as the linear velocity goes on changing at every instant. So the very first characteristics we can write it as velocity of particle changes at every instant. Now here you can see at every instant the direction is also goes on changing. That is what velocity, I make use of the word, because when I'm using the word speed, then we are talking only about magnitude, but here I've used the word as velocity. Velocity, it means it possesses both magnitude as well as direction. So here you can see the direction is continuously goes on changing. That's why I can write velocity of particle changes at every instant. At every instant, at any point on the circumference of circle, we can see that the velocity of the particle goes on changing. Second characteristic from this we can write it as it is an accelerated motion. Now how it is an accelerated motion? We know that when we are talking about acceleration, this is nothing but actually change in velocity upon time. So acceleration is change in velocity upon time. So here you can see the velocity vector. These are the velocity vector. And you can see the velocity vector is continuously going on changing its direction. As there is change in its direction, it means there is change in velocity. So as there is change in velocity, it means for sure the circular motion is an accelerated motion. Next property of this circular motion is it is a periodic motion. Now when we are talking about periodic motion, there are n number of examples we can consider, like motion of earth around the sun, motion of moon around the earth. In this case, earth or moon, they are completing their circular path, means earth is completing its circular path around sun and moon is completing its circular path around earth in a stipulated time interval. That's why we can say it as this motion, means a circular motion, is periodic motion. In circular motion, we need to discuss different physical quantities like angular displacement, number 2, angular velocity, and number 3, angular acceleration. To understand the different physical quantities which we are going to use in circular motion, we will consider a particle performing circular motion along the circumference of circle with the center of this circle is at the origin of xy coordinate system. Consider a particle, say particle P. Initially it is present at this position and moving in anticlockwise sense when time t is equal to 0. So we will draw this OP vector OP. This is called as radius vector, as well as it is also called as position vector, which indicates the position of particle P when time t is 0. After a short time interval, say delta t, the particle will reach at point say Q. So if we draw this OQ, which is the position vector of the point Q, which is again nothing but a radius vector, then you can see the particle trace arc PO on the circumference of this circular path, and these two position vectors, or you can say the radius vector, vector OP and vector OQ, includes one angle theta at the center of the circle. So this angle over here, it's called as angular displacement. So in short, we can define angular displacement as angle traced by the radius vector or position vector of a particle at the center of the circle. You can see these are the two radius vectors, and these two radius vector or position vector of the particles which trace the angle theta at the center of the circular path at point O. So this theta, it is called as angular displacement. Now angular displacement, it is a vector quantity and its direction can be obtained by right hand thumb rule. By right hand thumb rule, if our curved finger denotes the direction of motion of particle, then thumb denotes the direction of the angular displacement. And SI unit of angular displacement is radian. Now next physical quantity in circular motion is angular velocity. Now angular velocity, it is denoted by letter omega. Now what is angular velocity? It is similar to the linear motion, as in linear motion we state linear velocity is equal to linear displacement upon time. Similar to that, here in angular velocity, which is denoted by letter omega, we can add, this is nothing but angular displacement in time, that is d theta by dt. So angular velocity, it is the angular displacement per unit time. Angular displacement, this is also a vector quantity and can be written like this, and SI unit of angular velocity is radian per second. Now next physical quantity in circular motion is angular acceleration. So angular acceleration, which is denoted by letter alpha. So angular acceleration alpha, it can be defined as angular acceleration is rate of change of angular velocity. Means angular acceleration is rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. Angular acceleration is also a vector quantity and can be denoted like this, and its SI unit is radian per second square. So in circular motion, these three physical quantities we have studied. Angular displacement, this is the angular displacement, which is nothing but the angle traced by radius vector or position vector of a particle at the center of the circle. This is the angular displacement. Angular velocity, it is the angular displacement per unit time. Angular acceleration alpha, it is the rate of change of angular velocity per unit time. About these physical quantities we have already studied in 11th standard. As we have discussed, angular displacement, angular velocity and angular acceleration, these are the vector quantities. So let us check how to find out its direction. for which we are going to consider a particle which is performing circular motion along the circumference of circle. Imagine the particle is performing circular motion in anti-clockwise sense. For understanding the direction of angular displacement, as I told you, we can find the direction of angular displacement by right hand thumb rule. So by right hand thumb rule, we can see the curved finger denotes the direction of motion of a particle, whereas thumb denotes the direction of angular displacement. So in this case, if this is the direction of motion of a particle, then angular displacement will be directed in upward direction. Similarly, for finding the direction of angular velocity and angular acceleration, if we consider this is the motion of a particle in anti-clockwise sense, then we can find the direction of angular velocity and angular acceleration by right hand rule, and it is directed from the center of the circular path in the upward direction. So omega and alpha both are in the same direction. But in case of alpha, as we have discussed, this is angular acceleration. So I want to suggest one example over here. If we switch on the fan, then the angular speed or angular velocity of the fan goes on increasing. Then in that case, it means when there is change in angular velocity, it means definitely there is angular acceleration. And as the angular velocity increases, angular acceleration also increases and can be shown by this arrow in upward direction. But if we switch off the fan, then the fan speed will slows down, then in that case the acceleration goes on decreasing, so it can be shown in the downward direction because the angular acceleration in this case goes on decreasing. Now in circular motion, we need to discuss one very important relation, that is relation between linear velocity v and angular velocity omega. So the relation between this linear velocity and angular velocity, it is given by v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar, where v bar is the linear velocity vector, omega bar is the angular velocity vector, and r bar is a radius vector. In magnitude, we can write this as v is equal to r omega. In this diagram, you can see how these three vectors are related with each other. As you can see in this diagram, I have shown the circular path of a particle. Imagine the particle is performing circular motion in anti-clockwise sense. This is the center of the circle. So this is the radius vector or the position vector which indicates the position of the particle at any time instant. So this is r bar, vector r. According to right hand thumb rule, angular velocity, that is angular velocity vector, it will be in upward direction. So this is omega bar, and linear velocity vector v bar is always going to be tangent to the circular path. So this is v bar. You can see these three vectors, that is omega bar, r bar and v bar. These three are mutually perpendicular to each other. R bar and v bar are in the same plane, whereas omega bar is perpendicular to the plane. So from this we get the clear idea how this v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar, and its magnitude gives us v is equal to r omega. In circular motion, as we have discussed, angular velocity omega is equal to angular displacement upon time. That is omega is equal to theta upon t. So if we are talking about a circular motion, means this, you can see here a particle performing circular motion along the circumference of circle. So in its complete path, this theta, the angular displacement is going to be 2 pi, and the time taken to complete one revolution is t. So we get a relation omega is equal to 2 pi by t, but 1 upon t, as we know, it is a frequency, that is frequency of rotation in this case. So we can write this is nothing but 2 pi n. So we get the relation omega is equal to 2 pi n, where omega is angular velocity, n is the frequency of rotation. Now we will discuss about uniform circular motion. In 11th standard, we have already come across this uniform circular motion, and which can be defined as motion of a particle along the circumference of circle with constant linear speed. It means, imagine this is the center of the circle, say point O, and the particle is performing circular motion along the circumference of circle, say in anti-clockwise sense. Then at any instant, the linear speed of the particle is always tangential. So let this is v. So the linear speed v at any time instant or at any position on the circumference of circle is going to be same. Means magnitude wise you can see the linear speed is constant everywhere. As well as we can define uniform circular motion as motion of particle along the circumference of circle with constant angular speed. Angular speed means omega. In this uniform circular motion, as we can see, at every point the magnitude of the speed is constant. But if you are talking about the velocity, then even though the magnitude is same, but the direction is continuously goes on changing. So even though it is a circular motion, but circular motion is an accelerated motion. So why this acceleration is there, even though we are calling it as a uniform circular motion? Because as we can see here, even though the magnitude of the velocity is same, but its direction is continuously goes on changing. That's why circular motion is an accelerated motion, because there is continuously change in the velocity vector, and whenever there is a change in velocity vector, definitely there must be acceleration. And this acceleration is called as radial acceleration because it is directed along the radius and towards the center of the circle, and is denoted by radial acceleration in uniform circular motion is r bar is equal to minus omega square r bar, where omega, this is the angular velocity, r, this is the position vector. In this equation, this negative sign indicates that the direction of the acceleration is towards the center of the circle. So this acceleration is directed along the radius towards the center of the circle. That's why it is called as radial acceleration. Radial acceleration can also be written as vector AR, that is radial acceleration is equal to minus v square upon r, this is the magnitude part, into r cap, where r cap, it is a unit vector which is directed along the radius towards the center of the circle. Now let us check what is acceleration in circular motion. We already know this relation, v bar is equal to omega bar cross r bar, where v bar is the linear velocity vector, omega bar is the angular velocity vector, and r bar is the position vector. If we differentiate with respect to t, then we are going to get dv bar by dt is equal to, by using UV rule, we can write d omega bar by dt cross r bar plus omega bar cross dr bar by dt. So dv bar by dt, this is nothing but change in velocity with respect to time. So this is linear acceleration a bar is equal to, here we can write it as alpha bar, because d omega by dt, it is nothing but angular acceleration alpha bar cross r bar plus omega bar as it is cross dr bar by dt, it means it is nothing but velocity vector v bar. So this a bar, which is the total acceleration in circular motion, so this part is nothing but the tangential acceleration, which can be denoted by a suffix t vector plus a suffix r vector, which is indicating the radius vector. So this part indicates me the tangential component of acceleration, and this part indicates me the radial component of acceleration. So total acceleration in circular motion, it is a bar is equal to a tangential bar plus a radial bar. In magnitude, we can write this acceleration as a is equal to root a tangential square plus a radial square, where at, this is the tangential acceleration, and ar, this is nothing but the radial acceleration. So these are the two acceleration, that is total acceleration in circular motion A, it is a combination of tangential acceleration and radial acceleration. As you can see here, radial acceleration, it is directed along the radius toward the center, whereas tangential acceleration is tangential to the circular path. Now in case of uniform circular motion, this tangential acceleration is 0. Therefore in uniform circular motion, only radial acceleration is present, because in UCM this tangential component acceleration is going to be 0. Now let's see the kinematical equations in circular motion. As in linear motion we are having the kinematical equations. Similar to that in circular motion also we are having the kinematical equation. So we will compare this linear motion kinematical equations and circular motion kinematical equations. So in linear motion and in circular motion, in linear motion, the first kinematical equation is V is equal to U plus AT, where V is the final velocity, U is the initial velocity, A is the acceleration, T is time. Second kinematical equation, S is equal to UT plus half AT square. S is the linear displacement, U initial velocity, T time, A linear acceleration, T time. And last third kinematical equation, V square is equal to U square plus 2AS. V final velocity, U initial velocity, A acceleration, S displacement. These are what the three kinematical equations which we are using in linear motion. Similar to this in circular motion also we are having, like here how we are having this is the final linear velocity and initial linear velocity. Here we can write it as omega final, this is the final angular velocity, is equal to omega initial plus alpha t. Final angular velocity is equal to initial angular velocity plus angular acceleration into time t. Here as we have the linear displacement, here we have angular displacement which is denoted by theta. So we can write theta is equal to omega initial into t plus half alpha t square. Angular displacement is equal to initial angular velocity into t plus half angular acceleration t square. And last kinematical equation in similar with this, we can write this is nothing but omega final square. Here we have linear velocity, final linear velocity square. So here we have final angular velocity square is equal to omega initial square plus 2 alpha theta, where alpha, here we have A as a linear acceleration, here we have alpha as angular acceleration, here we have S as a linear displacement, here we have theta as angular displacement. When particle is performing circular motion, it experiences two types of force. Number one, centripetal force, and number two, centrifugal force. As we know, force is a physical quantity which can be written as force F is equal to mass into acceleration. So here this A, acceleration, we are talking about force in a circular motion. So this F, we are going to talking about force in a circular motion, that it may be centripetal force or centrifugal force. A, this is the acceleration in circular motion. So centripetal force, it is a force which is directed along the radius towards the center of the circle. It means, imagine this is a particle performing circular motion, and if the particle is present over here, the centripetal force which is experienced by this particle is along the radius towards the center of the circle, and this centripetal force F is nothing but ma. But in circular motion there is a radial acceleration, so this centripetal force we can write it as centripetal force is equal to ma, that is nothing but mass m is the mass of the particle, and a acceleration, this is nothing but v square upon r, where v is the linear speed or the tangential speed of the particle and r is the radius of this circular path. This equation can also be written as m r omega square. This we have written this centripetal force in terms of linear speed, and this equation we have written in terms of angular speed. But as we know, force is a vector quantity, so we can write it as this centripetal force F bar. If you want, this is only the magnitude of the force, and we can write it as minus mv square upon r into r cap. Here negative sign indicates that the force is directed along the radius towards the center of the circle. So this is the magnitude part, and r cap, this is a unit vector which is directed along the radius toward the center. Similarly, this equation can be written as minus m omega square r bar. This is in terms of angular velocity. Now to understand centrifugal force, again we need to take the same example. Consider the particle performing circular motion along the circumference of circle with its center at point O, and this is the particle. Now this particle of mass m is going to be experiencing the force, but this force is going to be outward, that is away along the radius but away from the center of circle. This is called as centrifugal force. So centrifugal force is equal to same mass into acceleration. Here m is the mass and acceleration is again the radial acceleration. So this can be written as v square by r, or the same equation we can write it as m r omega square. But as force is a vector quantity, and as you can see the direction of this centrifugal force is directed along the radius but away from the center of circle, we can write this centrifugal force. It is nothing but this with plus sign, plus mv square upon r into r cap, or the same equation we can write plus m omega square r bar. Here the plus sign indicates that the force is directed along the radius but away from the center of circle. So now let us discuss this centripetal force and centrifugal force from difference point of view. As you can see, centripetal force, it is a force which is directed along the radius toward the center of circle, whereas centrifugal force, it is directed along the radius away from the center of circle. Next point of difference is centripetal force, it is a real force, whereas centrifugal force, it is a pseudo force. Next difference is centripetal force, it exists in inertial frame of reference, whereas centrifugal force, it exists in non-inertial frame of reference. Formula point of view, centripetal force, you can see the actual difference. Here magnitude is same, but as you can see the direction, here we can see the centripetal force we have denoted with the negative sign, that is minus m v square by r into r cap, where this part is the magnitude and r cap, it is a unit vector which is directed along the radius toward the center of circle, whereas in centrifugal force the magnitude is same, that is m v square by r cap, it is a unit vector which is directed along the radius but away from the center of circle, and this centrifugal force ka formula is with the plus sign because it is directed away. Similarly, we can write this formula in terms of angular speed or angular velocity with the negative sign minus m omega square r bar, whereas centrifugal we can write it as m omega square r bar.